Thank you all for joining us again today. So round two, we have Ethan Strand from North Carolina, Tarik Robinson-O'Hagan from Ole Miss, Johnny Brackins Jr. from USC. Gentlemen, we're first going to ask you to talk about your season, how you feel coming into the national championships, and then we're going to be opening up for questions from the media. So we'll start with Ethan.
Yeah, it's been an awesome season so far. I feel like we're just building into the postseason and really getting ready for outdoor, and I think this is kind of that stepping stone that leads into the summer. So yeah, I'm super excited about this weekend.
I think this season's been going well for me. Each week we're building. Coach John has this program set up for me. I go out there, I do my thing while, we get off any meeting. We get off any meetings, just like, let's keep rebuilding, getting back on track what we're supposed to be doing. And we're here. We're here in 2 events. Not a lot of people are here in 2 events, so let's see what happens.
Yeah, definitely went through a big coaching change this year, and that was something to adapt to. But ultimately, I invested all my time into just trusting my new coach, and it paid off well. So I'm really happy with how the season's been going. I want to maximize it and really make the most of my last year. So it's been going well so far. It's been a blessing, and I just want to make the most out of this meet as well.
I'll open up to questions.
Jasmine Mercedes Meggs, this question's for Ethan. So you set the mile record, collegiate record, and you decided to scratch it this weekend and focus on the DMR and 3K. What went into your decision to do those events and scratch the mile?
Yeah, I think when deciding events, it was one about team points. I think I can score more points in those 2 events than a mile prelim, a mile final, and the 3K. And also just what I'm really excited about. I want to step on the track and race the event that I'm most excited about, and happy to be on the track to race. And being a part of a team and running the DMR really excited me. And then I'm really liking the 3K right now. So yeah, I think those are the things that went into my decision.
John Davern with FloTrack. Questions also for Ethan. The 3K is really interesting. 14 of the 16 men are entered in the DMR, the mile, or the 5K. So when you have that kind of mixing pot, what do you expect out of that 3K? Is it going to be fast? Is it going to be slow? What do you think we can see?
I honestly have no idea. I think it's going to be a really exciting race, and I think there are going to be a lot of people that take chances, and I'm ready for all of it, so I'm super excited.
Ashley Tishman's with FloTrack. This is for Johnny. You've come close to winning NCAA titles. What's it going to take this time around to hopefully get one of those titles? Obviously, you were one of the favorites in the 60-meter hurdles and the long jump.
Ultimately, I just used the past as ammunition. I really feel like that was mine last year, and I missed out on it, and I can only blame myself. So I've used that in every race this year. I've wanted to execute every race like it's the final at nationals, like it's the biggest meet of my life. So that's how I'm going into this, not changing anything, just focusing on my race and trusting my ability. But yeah, I definitely don't want another 2nd place, another 4th place, none of that. So.
Last follow-up. You also competed at USATF indoors. Talk a little bit about why do that ahead of NCAAs? What did you learn from that experience? And
Yeah, I think honestly, I just wanted to be put in an uncomfortable situation. I've obviously competed, a nice amount this season, but I wanted to be put in a situation where I had to potentially get beaten or be against people who have ran faster than me. And racing against Grant, Cameron Murray, it just put me in a position where I'd have to compete under pressure. I'd have to adapt to anything happening because anything can happen. Saw that in the final last year. So I learned a lot, and it was a great experience. It also just made me excited for my transition professionally. I'm looking forward to that after college, and I think it set me up well to be confident going into this weekend.
Question for Tarik. Shot put and weight throw. 2 events. What are you hoping? Again, you're one of the favorites of both of those.
I'm coming here to double champ.
Okay.
I'm taking both times.
What are you going to do to get that done then?
You just got to go in there and compete. It's about who's hitting the first throw and who responds to the first throw hit. I'm pretty good at doing both. If I get out there, like the shot put last year I PR'd over a foot the first throw. So pretty much going there, if someone hits a throw before me, depending on the lineup, I have to respond, and that's the sport. If you don't respond, you don't win. And I'm usually good at that. My coach, he builds me up for that, Each practice we build that, so that's the plan.
Lara Overton from ESPN. Also for Tarik, In addition to your personal goals that you have, how much pride do you take in just continuing this steep tradition of throws at Ole Miss with what you've been able to do and what you aim to do this weekend
Are you saying just for this meet or in general?
in general?
I mean, I'm gonna stay with Coach John for however long I can and possibly do the same thing on an Olympic team, do both events because I'm capable of doing it. And Coach John's really good at coaching an event, and also have Coach Connie and Dempsey. So we have a whole team together, and a lot of teams don't have that, where we have that, and everyone plays a role. And as long as I do that, I'll be fine.
Follow up, one for each of you. Do any of you have any pre-competition superstitions?
I just kind of like, I'm tune out the real world, like no phone. I don't like to, my parents hate it, but I don't want any contact before. Like, I really just like to focus on what's going on. I don't like to look at anything track. Some people look at like, you know, people's projections and stuff. I don't like to look at any of that. Just focus on the race, and then I'll check my phone hours after that. So.
I mean, for me, I do the same thing every single week. There's no reason to, you know, try something new or try to get in a different mindset. I already go on the track thinking I want to win every time. I'm going to win, so I might as well just keep the same routine every time. Don't change anything up. That's how, you know, you have a bad meet.
I'd say I don't really have any superstitions. I just kind of have a plan that's laid out for me. Coaching staff kind of gives us a day in the life pretty much, and I follow that. So.
This question's for Johnny. Obviously, USC as a team among one of the favorites on the men's side to potentially contend for an NCAA title. Curious what the mindset is going into this among the whole squad, especially considering coming off of Big Tens where it obviously didn't totally play out how you wanted it to.
Yeah. Big Ten's definitely didn't end how we wanted it to, but ultimately, like I said about me being second last year, it's just ammunition for this meet. Like, I think we earned that at Big Tens, we earned that win, and you know, something happened that took it away from us. So let's forget about that and let's take this national championship, and that weighs more than all of that. So everybody's ready, everybody's determined, and you know, we're gonna make the most out of it.
Another question for Ethan. So you took a huge jump last summer at the Olympic trials, and then again in cross country season, and then 3K NCAA record, mile NCAA record. What do you attribute that improvement to over the past year?
Yeah, I mean, I think just a gradual build in fitness over the last few years, but I made a few changes just in how I think about racing that I think really helped that breakout. A lot in the past few races, a lot of my NCAA championships, I've been a little bit passive. Found myself in the back, not really taking control of the race, and I changed that. I saw some bad results from that mindset, and so I've come into all of my races over the past 6 months the complete opposite. I'm going to go put myself in it, give myself the best possible chance to win the race. And I think that's allowed me to have a lot of success over the last few months.
One last question for Ethan from me. Ethan, can you tell us what leg on the DMR you're running?
Yeah, I'm okay. So yeah, we're gonna try to get them in.
Question for all of you, if you don't mind just talking about what it means to be here in Virginia Beach in this big venue and on this setting. We'll go down starting with Ethan or Tarik if you want to start.
Just being at this meet in general is a huge opportunity for me and all of us here in the track and field community. Just to be able to represent our schools and represent our country, gotta make sure, I can't just put that out there. For us to represent our country and just, this is one of the biggest stages in the world. My coach preaches it all the time. This is the biggest stage. This is more important than the U.S. meet. This is more important because this is where the foundation starts for the U.S. team. So for us to go out here and he wins, I win, he wins, those are 3 dudes that can be on that USA team that win gold medals for the U.S. and that's not something other countries get unless they come here. But then we got to represent for our country. So this meet's very important.
Yeah, I mean, I think this meet is full of world-class athletes, and I think, like you said, it's a stepping stone and it's practice for those bigger meets. So to come here and be a part of that is what I've always wanted to do, and I'm going to try to take advantage of that.
Yeah, coming here, it's really big for me because my my very last like big championship indoor meet was here in high school, so it's kind of like a full circle moment for me. Like I finished high school career here. This is where I'm finishing my indoor collegiate career. So I just want to go out with a bang, honestly. So I won last time I was here. I want to win again. So yeah, and of course I want to see them win too. So let's just be a table of winners.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for your time today. Before you leave, we're going to have you pose for a picture here on the backdrop. Best of luck.